Per seguir una mica
To follow our schedule, on today afternoon we will be showing 3 more videos, Steierman, Julian Vincent and Marmor, so that we can have a little bit more time now.
Project of the hub. So I please Zoubeir Azouz to explain your project, please.
Hello, Barcelona. It's always a pleasure to be here in Barcelona. This time it's an honor for me because it's a beautiful event and I'm really proud to be part of this event. So, my name is Zoubeir Azouz. I'm based in Montreal. I'm an architect, do some research too, and I've joined Montserrat Puig, Montserrat Puig, to present you today a conceptual design for a project called The Hub. And how do we approach this project? What are the questions that we had? And we will show you our ideas.
So, bom dia a tots. Does it work? Yes. For many years, urban pressure has caused serious damage to nature. We have been hurting a little bit the quality of life of people. Nowadays, rules have to change according the place, so we have to build according the place we belong, that it's the nature. So that's the reason that we are now listening to nature to make the buildings.
Yes, so when we design something, we start with a drawing. So this is one of our first drawings. The idea is to think about the buildings, the functions, how they work together. Maybe also we think about the transitional spaces, like we use the void also with the functions. And of course, with a biomimetic approach, we can think about an organ and also maybe the approach of an epidermis, like the thickness of an epidermis.
So, as Gaudí said, the architect of the future will be based on the imitation of nature because it's the most rational, durable, and economical of all methods. So, we want to make nature in the building recreating like a dune succession. So it has to be like beginning with few pioneer species and becoming with almost complete vegetation and becoming at the end to the forest.
Yes, it's this montage is about the dunes, but also it's about illustrating the maturity of nature, the way that behaves and becomes mature and efficient on its own.
So we think that because we have to return to the regions, the hub have to be like a fern, because the fern has survived and evolved over millions of years. So the fern has been adapting to change and creating coping mechanisms to prevent the existence of the species. So we want to work like this adaptation.
Yes, it's about a fragment. We take a little sample from nature and we have some questions to think about the way that it behaves again. Is it about geometry to understand nature? Is it about computational design like new technology? Or is it just listening to nature? This fragment floats. reacts, and for any location it can have a special character. It's about the geography, it's about the context, and this will give the identity of the hub. So this is a couple of variations of the fragment, and if we start giving some water, if we start giving some functions, then we can start having an identity.
So if we grow like a nature, if the building grows like nature do, it will be a self-sustaining ecosystem. So what we want is, like Darwin said, it's not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent that survive. It's the one that is most adaptable to change.
So this is the fragment with volumetry, so you can see the stripes. So this is a test with some textures, and see how every fragment can react with nature. It can be the skin, it can be a sensitivity, or can we talk about randomness, or is it something like very controlled? So we did some tries. Is it working?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And finally, we can get this kind of suggestion to enjoy the building.
Yes, it's about topography, and you can tell that there's a sort of timeless and sensitivity with this, and calm, which is nature. Nature is calm.
So we adapt to the environment to get, over time, the landscape intervention as a biological corridor, where birds can go inside the building and also nature, and also the building can be outside the nature. So we need sense. We need to learn a lot about nature, and we have to learn with the sense. So that's the reason we want to reproduce the senses, and the roof garden has to be trying to show how to walk between smells, how to consider all the sounds of the vegetation with the wind, how to capture all the intensity, all the colors of the nature, keeping in mind all the textures that nature have, and also for sure flavors of the nature.
Okay, so every stripe belongs to a sense. Doesn't mean that every stripe is especially made for a sense, but essentially incorporating the human being within the epidermis-like topology, the epidermal membrane consisting of rippled dune structures with access slits and openings of various sizes, is designed to give the greatest access to light, air, and water, similar to photosynthesis process, making the hub breathe.
What we would like to have is that this landscape, it will be the source of the inspiration of the hub. So we will be making some experiments with the sense. So the building will be mixing this landscape inside and this building outside.
So inspired and informed by nature, the hub creates conditions that are conducive to an ecosystem of collaboration between the people and various disciplines. So these drawings are a little bit more detailed to try to figure out how the functions can collaborate together and make an ecosystem on its own. So then we end up with this layout, and the word biomimetic foundation project consists of distinct functions that complete one another producing a self-sustaining system, an intricate organization that operates on its own.
So finally, the hub will be a self ecosystem and will be this biological corridor that cities need or that the landscape need nowadays.
Okay, as an individual, as a result, the individual senses are efficiently broadened to encompass the entire project.
So this is, for example, the auditory. We want to vary it partly. We want to hear it's an image of the auditory.
For the auditorium,
yeah,
no?
That naturally it's inside. Also, because we want to experiment it, we want to see a tree from down. So we want to put a tree on an hydroponic system and to see every day how the roots of the tree, so how the roots of a mangrove goes and grow. So
yes, so the functions are not buildings that we put over a land or a layout, but it's about the epidermis, the thickness of the fragment that I showed you before, and the functions belong to this thickness, so we don't put it over the land. So this is the kind of spaces that we are imagining for the hub: open spaces, natural ponds and water harvesters. These functions can be, that's okay, thank you. This project can produce energy, can filter energy, can filter water. Go ahead. This is about some spaces that we imagined for the education center, and of course the nature is in the middle of the classroom or for the open spaces.
So, like the farm, we think that the hub finally will be adapt and consolidate. So its force would be more hubs around the world. So this is the
yeah, we hope that we can have a hub in every country, everywhere, maybe in the moon, maybe one day. And every hub would be different and singular. Thank you.
Thank you very much.